Experience the future of packaging and processing up close and in action. Explore groundbreaking innovations, engage with hands-on solutions, and connect with the experts transforming the industry. See how these advancements can revolutionize your products, production lines, and business. It all starts here. Don't miss out. Register today at packexpolasvegas.com/unpackedpod.
We interrupt our regular schedule of Unpacked with PMMI podcasts, as these are anything but regular times. Hi, I'm Sean Riley. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact our personal and professional lives on a daily basis, we're using every one of our avenues at PMMI to offer guidance, insights, and in some cases, just a friendly voice from a fellow member, reinforcing that you are not alone and we are all in this together. We head north of the border in this edition to gauge how ever-changing mandates are affecting the Canadian market. I assure you almost all of these insights apply to manufacturing across North America. Here we speak with BellatRx President Shuhaibar and Mpac Langen Sales Director of Americas, Borrell. If you take nothing else from both of these gentlemen, it's that communication is key, letting your staff know every day what's going on, what the situation is, just so they feel connected. All right, let's get right into it. Alan, things are obviously changing every day, but I know some of the more populated provinces in Canada, like Quebec and Ontario, are similar to some of the states in the U.S. in that they're ordering all non-essential businesses to close. How has that affected your operations at BellatRx? Just how has that impacted you?
Well, BellatRx remains operational as of now. We did reach out to the provincial government, the government of Quebec, equivalent to a state government, to receive permission because we are considered part of the supply chain for essential services as we serve pharmaceutical companies and healthcare, diagnostic chemical companies, which allows us to continue in operation.
Okay, because as that rolls out more in other places and in the U.S., it's just trying to get ideas on how people can, and most that we've spoken to have said they've just kind of gone to their government and made sure that they got, their business was included on the list. Mpac Langen has offices in Europe as well as Canada. Ian, with your global presence, did you guys have kind of an idea or a plan as you saw this developing in Europe or, before it got to North America on how Mpac Langen was going to handle this?
Well, we did have a little bit of a plan. As you know, it evolves fast, so the plans were changing extremely quickly. The first thing was the health and safety of our employees. We wanted to make sure that everybody was safe and felt comfortable in coming into our facilities. So we put a lot of procedures in place in Mississauga. Up 3 weeks ago, we started limiting visitors into our facility on an as-need-be basis. And we started having personnel that could work out of their house start to work out of their houses to limit the number of people coming in, because our key was to keep our engineering department running and then to keep our fabrication facilities running. Procedures we put in place, a lot of hand washing, a lot of hand sanitizers around, a lot of daily meetings, a lot of daily updates. Our CEO, who's based in England, is very involved in this and has been putting out a lot of communications globally to all our employees. And, we've been sharing procedures. And over the last 3 or 4 years, since our new CEO, Tony Steeles, has come on board, he's been bringing all the facilities together and has been building up and investing in our people and in our infrastructure, especially our IT infrastructure, that we can share engineering workloads, operational workloads throughout all our facilities on the globe, which is helping us during this time that we can move work around. We can share ideas from different plants. So all the investment over the last few years, we're now actually maximizing those resources and learning how to maximize those resources and get the most out of them.
Perfect. Glad to hear that. Alan, how do you think your employees at BellatRx are coping?
I think communication is key. There is a level of concern for everyone. They're concerned about their families, their kids, their lack of schools and daycares, and can I get my groceries and the basic essentials. Part of what we do is on a daily basis, we update our employees. We have a general meeting or we have a group chat with every employee who receives updates based on any HR related issues, but also a message from me updating them on the happenings of the company, what efforts we're taking, and what what's going on to keep them informed. People don't like to be left in the dark. And I find, and here at BellatRx, we have open communication. So the more we share with the employees, the more they feel at ease about what's happening.
That's good. That's what we like to hear. Ian, have you had any issues, I don't know, from a sales perspective, or if you can speak from the operations on the floor with, having to deal with employees who are sick or have to be home with children? Have you had staffing issues or anything like that you've had to adapt on the fly, or have you guys been okay with that so far?
Well, I think that there's been some adaptation on the fly. There have been employees that have had to stay at home and look after children, but there's a lot of adaptation we can do there. We can have them working from home. We've for employees that didn't have laptops that were portable, we're supplying them with laptops so they can work out of the house and adapt to their needs.
Oh, good. Alan, have you found for things like this that customers are more willing to permit it than they would have previously? Because I know sometimes with remote monitoring, stuff like that, or augmented reality, customers might not be willing to let you have access to their plant and stuff like that. But I've heard from some other members that I've talked to that that's kind of increased out of necessity. And that might be sort of a silver lining to this cloud, that maybe that can take some of the travel for training and stuff like that out. And I was just curious on your end if you've seen anything like that.
We've seen certainly less resistance from our customers regarding connecting to pieces of equipment and remote access. But a lot of these augmented reality tools require nothing but a cell phone or a tablet, so no need to access their network. It's external. So they have definitely been more forgiving, but also the tools are not very invasive, if you will.
Oh, very cool. So do you think that, once we get out of this, augmented reality type things could be another thing that sort of catches on and keeps from having to do all these travels and stuff like that?
I truly believe that once we come out on the other side, many things will not go back to normal, and there will be a new normal. And I believe augmented reality is certainly one of those things. The ability to communicate, train, support remotely. Customers are a lot more open to it, and I don't think that will go back once they've seen the benefit of it. And for us, it will help with a lot of volume of support. It will not replace completely, but it will definitely reduce the volume of requirement to travel.
That's good. That's kind of an unintended benefit that's come out of this situation. Alan and Ian, thanks for jumping on with us in such short notice. And please stay tuned for more in this series of special Unpacked with PMMI podcasts on navigating the COVID-19 pandemic.